Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's event where we'll be covering Ask Me Anything About Mini Sessions. So, we're in the full swing of spring now. It's time for you to start thinking about mini sessions. And you don't have to think about it just now, not for Mother's Day or Easter and things like that. Surely we've already got those planned if you're doing them. But did you know you can do mini sessions throughout the entire year? You can do summer sessions, you can do senior sessions, you can do graduation sessions, you can do holiday, fall, you name it. Any type of sessions, even Halloween ones, which are pretty fun. Think about ways you can incorporate this into your year-long agenda when it comes to being profitable with your photography business. Maximize volume and lower costs to get more people through the door, but lower effort for you. Set up a single session area, get 10, 15 plus people in one day. That's pretty good. Pretty good money. So, we're going to talk about how you can set that up utilizing PhotoBiz, using the scheduling tool, how you can also utilize such features as the email marketing features, and how you can create landing pages that are engaging by leaning on, all the features that we have, such as the new video options and animations, and utilizing PhotoBiz AI to help you write this stuff briskly so you don't have to worry about it. So we're going to give people time to get settled in. Please let me know if you have any comments or questions in the comment section. Please let us know there, and also like and subscribe to our channel if you're not already to the PhotoBiz network. This is where we're going to put all our content from now on, because it looks like Facebook is going to start deleting video content after 30 days. So not really worth keeping it there if you're looking for more detailed information. Everything's going to be stored here on YouTube. So we'll take people time before we get started. But again, please leave your comments and questions down in that area. We'll get started very, very soon. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Again, if you want to ask any questions about mini sessions today, today is the day to do it. We'll get started right now. So I'm already logged in. We're going to focus on building a landing page first, because I think it's very important to have that aspect there, and then we can set up the scheduling tool afterwards and how you can market it through your email marketing features. The most important thing about mini sessions is to think about how you can use it year long. One of my clients recently, I was very excited to see they had all theirs listed on a pricing page, so you could choose which one you wanted to do. Made it very playful, made it also look like they were very busy. So it's a little bit of subliminal marketing based on there. Like, wow, there's so many different opportunities I could choose from. Maybe I want to do a Christmas one. Maybe I want to do a holiday session. Maybe I want to do a fall session or summer session or Easter, you name it. There were so many options to choose from, and it gave a little bit of ambiance of like, well, I can go ahead and book now and ahead. And it was really great to see that they are doing that. So maybe we'll set up a page like that today as well. But first, let's focus on the main landing page. Let's just go ahead and set up something that is focused on the right now. So as we get into summertime, we're going to want to build pages out that way. So let's go ahead and create a new page. I'm going to go ahead and click on page. Then you'll want to select between all the options that we have. If you go to others, you'll see we have a booking page already here. It's a nice starting point. So let's start with a nice starting point. We're going to click on that. We're just going to call this one, just because, we're just going to call it Mother's Day Minis. All right. We're going to make this page visible. It'll be on our page, and we have the page loaded in. Now, we want to remove any pages that we don't think is worthy enough having here, so I'll get rid of these. We'll keep this one here now as a placeholder, because maybe that's what we want. We want to showcase, maybe it's for the children's, maybe it's going to be something focused like on that. So we'll just have it focused here for now. And you'll see there's some options that you can have a form here where people can ask questions, and you have the ability to go ahead and add your scheduled event here. We'll come back to this in a moment, but let's go ahead and build out what a page can look like. So I'm going to open this up so you can see as we build what it's looking like. You can see it's using gray tones, but let's liven it up a little bit. We're going to change the grays to a little bit more of a pastel tone, something for romanticize a little bit of Mother's Day. So when we're looking at these colors, maybe we want to use a little bit of a warmer palette, maybe a little bit sunnier. So we're just going to go somewhere here in these peacher tones. We're just going to select something in there. So just going to scroll it up just there, maybe right here. This is a nice tone. I'm going to select that, and you can see how it's looking here. Let me pull it back to here. There we go. Something soft like that. There we go. So we have these soft tones. I'm going to make sure that the rest of our blocks are now reflecting that tone that we selected, so that it's there. That way we have it already pre-designed in what we want to look at. The background color is going to choose that, and we'll have some white space to break it up. So let's go ahead and see just that small little change. I'm going to go ahead and see it there. So you can see it looks very fresh, very vibrant, and then we'll update some other options here. So we're going to add what I like to call the investment, right? So we want to tell them what they're going to be getting in a session. So we want to have those building blocks there. So of course you would have imagery that kind of walks them through all that. If you have anything, you can choose something from the stock library if you need to. But having something that just kind of lets them know what the whole scenario is going to be like, the 1, 2, 3 of it all. So you can break this down. We're going to go ahead and just select just editorial image for now. We're just going to make it 3 columns. So what are those columns going to be? Typically, we're going to just put in here, I'm going to just type in mother, see what comes up. So you can see we have some options already. So maybe these are our 3. So we're going to select this one, and then we'll get another one. And you can select multiple ones if you want to. So I'm going to type it in again. And here is our session. Perhaps we do it that way. You can see the familiarity, how it all looks alike. You can change it up a little bit just so it has a little bit of variety. But with each block, I like to have an image that represents like part 1. So 1 is going to be about the session. And if you don't know what to say here, we'll leave it blank for now. We'll come back to it. But we just need to get in there what our 1, 2, 3 is. 2. The reveal. just have it like this. So 1, we'll do the session. 2, we'll reveal them. And then 3, you'll purchase your favorites out of that session. So we're going to go ahead and choose some options for this. We're going to make the background color that nice tone. We're going to change the accent color here so you can see it done through there. We're going to just change the font a little bit. Right now it's using the Cantrell. We're going to just make it the Kaisei. There we go. And then we're going to make it just a little bit bigger. There we go. You can see now starting to put together really nice. And if you want to put like information per block, you can. What I recommend doing there is we're just going to add a temporary editor's block. So you need to describe something, but maybe you don't know what to say. I always ask PhotoBiz AI. I'm going to click here. I'm going to say describe in 3 steps a Mother's Day session, the reveal, and the purchase of photos, of their fake photos. Okay, so we got that. So describe in 3 steps, a 3-step process, a Mother's Day session, the reveal, and the purchasing of their favorites. So we're going to go ahead and say do that. That way we're not having to overthink about what we want to say. We're going to take what it hears. So here we go. So we'll coordinate a day and time for the Mother's Day session, discuss the desired locations. Maybe this isn't what we want. Maybe we just want, a single location and stuff like that. So you can take what's here and then modify it as you go. Discuss the different design, create a comfortable environment for the Mother's Day shoot. So I like this one. So we're going to take that part. So we're going to take this. We're going to save it out so we still have it. Then we'll come over here, paste it in. You can put comfort bother for the mother and children and anything involved relax in the natural shoot. That's awesome. Next part, the photo reveal. After the session, schedule a meeting. Present a curated. There we go. I just want the first half of this. And we'll just customize it slightly, just a bit. After the session, we'll schedule all present. What is that? Of experience. Perfect. So we got something going. Now we just want to do that after the reveal. We'll discuss, provide a seamless purchasing of it. There, I just want this one. So we'll take this, we'll post it in here. Because we don't make this too long. It doesn't need to be full, We'll discuss packages and pricing to help you select your there we go. Boom. Just enough, right? So not too long. And then we're just going to go through here and then just make some customization to it. I like it when things are, we'll keep the title centered, but maybe we want to do something like that. I think that'll look nice. And then we can see what we've got built so far. And then we'll take away this. We don't need this section above anymore, so we can remove that. And we'll go ahead in here as well for temporary status. We'll go ahead and add talk about booking a mini session in for Mother's Day in downtown Greensboro for 15-minute increment. Okay, talk about okay, we're good. So I'm just gonna tell them, and we'll say for an exciting booking page. All right, so got that. We want them to generate something like this. Again, AI is great for helping you generate some ideas, and then you going through it and curating, make sure it says everything you want it to do. So we're going to take bits and pieces of that. We're going to keep parts of this here, parts of it not. And why I wanted this is I don't need this section here that's talking about how the booking session will go, because we'll already have that for later. But what I'm going to need is this for our actual booking section. So I'm going to take this right here. I'm going to copy it for later. And we're now ready to start adding our scheduled services. Now you can manage them directly from here if you want to. You can go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and choose a layout because we're only going to have one single thing that we're going to allow them to purchase on this page, one event type. So we're just going to select a single item. And then let's go ahead and manage our services. You'll see that I have some pre-existing ones here, but let's go ahead and create a new category. We're going to call this minis. And we're going to create a new one. So you can do a custom date or reoccurring. For mini sessions, you're going to want to create a custom date one. And the reason why is it's built for specifically to be only in that time frame. So it won't be a daily schedule like if you're setting up your full scheduler. So we're just going to call it Mother's Day mini session. And that information we had here, we're going to paste it right in there. Session details, location, duration, dates available. We'll just go ahead and select some. We'll just say this weekend. How about that? So we're going to make it April 19th. And then costs, we don't need that because we're going to add it right down below. And what each session includes, you can keep that there. And it has, we'll just say Jane Doe. And what you're going to get, a private online gallery, one high resolution digital image of your choice, and we'll put options to purchase more photos. All right, we're going to make it a 15-minute increment. We're going to make this session cost only $2.50, and if you need to charge tax or not, we're going to make it where we're going to make it booking only for now, but this is where you would take the payment. You could set it up here to take payment right away. But I want to walk through the whole booking process. All right, and there we go. Add our date. When we're doing this, we're doing it tomorrow. You can then, from here, if you're going to take a small break or not, you can choose that. But maybe you want to start shooting photographs in the afternoon, maybe around 2. And you can shoot that until sunsets around this time period right now. So maybe that's how long you're shooting. You're going to get as many sessions as you can in between this 2 to 8. You've already had lunches and stuff like that, so you don't have to worry about taking a break unless you want to. If you need to add a break, you can. Maybe after 2 hours, you're going to take a 15-minute break or something like that. So you could stop here at 4, maybe a 30-minute break, and then finish out the day at 8 p.m. So different looks all in one location. It's going to look pretty cool. And we're going to keep it all on the same date. There we go. And create. Oh, we put 4 a.m. Let me fix that. 4 p.m. 4:30 p.m. There we go. Now we got it set in there. Now you're going to want to have an image that represents it. I'm just going to pull something from our stock. I'm just going to type in mothers. And then I'm going to select this one. I think this one's the one we haven't used. So we're going to have this one represent our image for the event. If you need to add add-ons, and what can be add-ons? Well, it could be hair, makeup, wardrobe, anything like that. You can add that directly here. You just create a new option. Maybe we'll just put, extra time or something like that. So we'll put hair. Maybe you got someone doing hair and makeup. You can add this as an option here. You can then add that new sub option, custom hair, something like that. Anything like that you want to add here, you can do 80. And that could be an option there, or you could just put none. And it costs nothing. There you go. Anything you want to have as a sub option, you can complete this here. So I'm just going to have these options. None or custom hair. If you want people to do your hair for you, real quick tease, anything like that, $80. Availability, we've already got our times selected. If you need to add more, you can. And if there's anything else you want to do, so say someone books with you right away, you can set up email automations to go ahead and roll out. So you can have a reminder series, you can have your testimonial series, and what that looks like is, say I wanted to edit this series, you can see how far in advance these emails roll out to them and after the event for the session itself. Now if I do the testimonial one, this one will roll out 2 days after requesting how everything went. So if it was going to go out today, and then a reminder to book again for a future event. So I'm just going to set that up. We want that to trigger. We're going to go back to our scheduler. We're going to select auto reminders and testimonial. And now that's attached to this series of email automations for this type of service. You can also customize anything in here. If anyone books for it, you can go ahead and type Mother's Day. And what's good about this is this will, anytime someone books with you, this will attach to them in the CRM area. So if they're in the CRM, the contacts area, it'll attach to them here. So you can see types of events that this person has replied to, commented to, or anything like that. It attaches to that person. So later, if you need to email them directly, which I'll show you later, maybe you're going to send this all out to family people. You can then send emails directly to people who have families. If you do multiple types of sessions, maybe if you do weddings, you don't want to send this to weddings. Maybe you only want to send this to directly to family people. Natalie says, oh, the emails are awesome. Yes, it's very nice, very convenient to have that factor. And if you connect it all properly, this thing can work for you so well. Some people forget about the tags. Tags are like a secret weapon, right? Because now you can create different lists. So after you've done this in the future, maybe you want to send this email back out to people who have families. You already have them attached in here as a tag. So you can filter them out, or you can exclude them from future emails about something, another type of event, because maybe they've already been hit with enough mini session info and they don't want to do anymore. So something to consider. All right, so now we have that set up. Let's go back to our website, our page here. We have pretty much most of this information here, but I do like this top paragraph section, so I'm going to remove this. We don't need it anymore, but I want to keep this, and I want to change this right here, heading 2, right? Well, let's change that to heading 1, and then you could either put it in the title section or keep it here. I'm going to keep it there, but I am going to change heading 1 to that nicer font style that we have on this page. And tags, trying to simplify some of my processes. I have and I don't have a CRM, which I think this is my answer. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to be adding more features to it as it comes on too, so it's definitely going to make things a whole lot easier. So we have this now building out. Let's see what we got so far. You can see how it's looking. We're gonna make this look a little bit more attractive first. So let's do that. Let's take this. Let's keep this here. We're gonna change this. Keep it as paragraph 1. I think it looks fine, but I do want to add a little spacing in it. Let's give it a little spacing and line height because it's a little squished in there. Let's do that. Give it a little air to breathe, right? Then we're going to add space with a divider above. We're going to change the divider. I just want it to be a beautiful little line, something with a little, little design breakup. Ooh, let's try something with the leaves. I think that'll look really nice. There we go. And you can choose the length, how long you want it. So we can go back here. I'm just going to make it a large. Well, let's make it an extra large. There we go. Just a little bit big. And then above it, we're going to add this. And then we'll add a little space above it as well. I'm going to change this to a spacer. So it just has a little breathing room above it. We're going to paste in that text that we had earlier. You can see it's already there. Now let's take a look and see what we got now. You can see it's starting to look a little bit more attractive that way. We're going to just make this text centered. I think we got something going. Yeah. Now let's give it a little breathing room below. You can copy this block. There we go. And if you need more leading room, you can always add more. I think I'll just give it a little bit more breathing out there. Oh yes, I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for joining me today. But look at this. We've already got this. We got our 1, 2, 3 available sessions. Now let's add that session that we built in our scheduler. You can click here, click on our minis, click on our Mother's Day session, click Save Changes, and there it is. Here it is. Now you can just customize it a little bit. Let's see, we want the button, available colors. We'll keep that. Let's see, button border. Let's make the button border that color. Let's see, button text color. Let's make it black as well. There we go. Now we got something going. So when we look at this, once they've selected, you know, none or custom scheduler, you can see here, it's a little hard to see the date of, so let's fix that. It's using a lighter available text color. Let's see if we can make that a little bit easier to see. We'll just make it this tone, but we'll drag it down just a touch, maybe right here. Let's see if that updates that a little bit. I'm gonna hit none again, schedule. You can see the text color comes out. We can also change it just to be straight up, that tone if we want to. So available background color, we'll go ahead and change this color and maybe we'll make this one black. How about that? Now let's try it out. This part can be a little back and forth till you get the desired look. You can see the date available. Maybe I want to go even darker. Who knows? You can go as dark as you want. You can do any color that you prefer. Maybe let's go a richer tone. Maybe that'll really make it stick out. This time I'm gonna pick custom hair. There it is. Now it's available. You can see all the times available here. So, you know, if I was gonna make a selection here, they could select it and then fill out their information. Now I had a question. So for holiday sessions, I can get these pages all set up and have them visible and hidden when I want? Yes, you can set them up that way, and I'll show you how to do that momentarily. Cost, like I said, I had a customer, they did something really cool where they have basically like a portal of all the mini sessions that they have available throughout the year, and you can have that where it's visible at all times, and these can act as, you know, just landing pages that people can navigate to, or they could hide that and just have individual pages as you want. As you can see right now, I don't have any menu option here because maybe I'm just going to use this in social media. You could utilize it that way. Or if you want this connected to your website, you could have it there as well. So we could set it up where display the footer and the header. You can have that available. So when we do that, now they're there. Now you can see them. Here's that Mother's Day minis. So you could have it living on your page if you want to that way too. There's multiple ways you could set it up. I'm just going to make this just for social purposes in our marketing. So we just hide that for now. So we'll come back to that momentarily. I'll show you how to make that portal set up. But here, they can pick which date they want. Since it's only one day for the event this time, we're going to make them select 2 p.m. We're going to just fill out our information. If that person exists already, the tag, once they set up, will be just applied to it. If they're brand new, we'll just make a new person, a new me. We'll just do that. What it'll do is it'll apply different ways. So when this person books, now if you're taking a payment, it'll take them to a cart system where they'll just fill out the payment system. So if you have your merchant set up through like Square or PayPal, anything like that, they'll just go to the next page after this, after they hit book now. It'll just take them to the next area to make the final payment. So since we just have it for booking setup, it just says the appointment's been confirmed. So they're going to get the date. They can add it to the calendar by clicking this, and they'll just go straight there. Or the next thing is they'll get email sent to them as well. So those notifications and things like that will also send out to them for that event. So they are booked. And so you'll see that time is no longer available to book. It's gone. That 2 p.m. is gone, but the 2:15, whatever's left will just stay there. And they can keep booking for that. Now, we have our page set up. We don't need this excess here at the bottom, so I'm just going to remove it because that's all we wanted. That's all we wanted for our quick landing page for this today. Now, how can we set up that portal option that Natalie's talking about? Let's do that. I'm going to create a new page, and I'm just going to select something quick and easy. So let's see what we got. We have anything... This is pretty good. I really like how Whitney looks, so let's select that one. We're just going to call this booking. So we have our booking page set up. You could then, modify it however you want to. I'm just going to remove these two photos. Just going to keep it a standard image. I'm going to just change the layout. We're just going to make it a stacked one for now. In fact, what we can do is we're going to clipboard this. I'm going to change it to a banner. So here you'll have all these colors that are customized to that page, but then you can just override them. You can see which colors have been overridden. You can just tell it to go back to the standard ones by just doing that. You can see the colors lay back in place the way they need to. And yeah, you can keep modifying it as you go. You can see there was already a custom color here, but we're just going to change it back to our black. There we go. Any other custom text that you want to remove here, you can do that as well. You can go through and just keep tweaking until you get the desired look that you're going for. So we're just going to keep our banner image here at the top. I'm just going to select this one, put it there. I'm just going to call it booking. Whoop. Book your minis. And then we're going to change the color. We're going to change the overlay color. Text color, we're going to make the overlay dark because I like that because it makes it a little bit more contrasted. Then I'm going to change the title to the other preferred font right here. There we go. And it's narrow. I don't want to make it too big of a banner, so we're just going to make it a classic thin. There we go. So that's cool. And then you can customize the text here. We'll come back to that later. But we don't need all this imagery and stuff like that because we want to fill it up with the type of scheduled events that they can do. I do like this color, but we're just going to take it out for now. Take out what you don't need. Start blank if you need to. And we'll just start here for now, and we can remove as we go. So we're just going to say select your preferred session type. There we go. So I'm going to just make some quick options here. But first, let's go ahead and add our schedule block here. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can have it where it's just they select which one they want and it takes them directly to that scheduled event, or you can create that mini day landing page session like this where there's more details. It's up to you which one you prefer. I'm going to show you the first one, the schedule look, how that looks, and we can go from there. And then I can show you the alternative of that. So let's go ahead back to our scheduler. We're just going to quickly copy some of these and just change the name and type of event so we can see what it is. So we'll just say summer minis. We'll call it that. We'll then create another one called like fall minis. And then winter holiday sessions. We'll just call it that. So we have all those. So we're just going to have these four. We're just going to change a few things about it real quick. We're going to change the image that represents it. So we're going to say summer. Maybe it's something cool. Let's see. We'll select this one for now. I think that looks neat. We'll come back. There we go. Select this one. And you can keep the details. You can change the details. If you want to change how these details are done, you know, location, information, however you want to. You can change all that information here. So maybe these summer ones are going to do June 6th. Maybe you can go through here, make updates to however you want to. Location, you can just put, you know, beach. We'll just say beach for now. Or pool, however you want to. Wherever your location's at. Just going to keep those details pretty vague. This is just for an example. And then you can go through here for your availability, when this event's going to happen. We said June 6th. That'll be a Friday. So we'll keep it on that. Perfect. And then for the next one, maybe it's a 2-day event. You're going to have it on Saturday as well. So maybe you're doing it that way. We're going to start both, and none of them have breaks. None of them have breaks. So we're going to do 8 each day. Just going to try to maximize as much as you can. Just in case people can't show up for the Friday, you got the Saturday option. So we're going to save. So you got a 2-day event for that. Let's go to our fall Let's go here. We're just gonna make this one quick. Fall. We'll just make it this one or this one. How about, oh, here we go. This is a cute one. Fall families. How about that? Any availability? Maybe we're gonna make this one now in October. Make it like the 18th. And we'll make it also the following weekend. We'll make the times for that one, again, relatively the same. Maybe it's a little shorter on one day. There you go. Then we got this. Oh yes, Natalie, there's so much you can do in here. There's so much you can do. I'm gonna go ahead and now fix our winter one. And just type in winter. And we'll do this one. Yeah, that's cool. And for this one, we'll just change dates again. And if you want to, you can go faster and just delete those two, add your own dates. Go right in. We'll make these late November or early December. How about that? We'll do that. We'll change the dates on this. Maybe we're doing these a little bit earlier. And you can tell them wherever you're going to do it at. Maybe you're doing this one till 12 p.m. And then you're going to do this one also the next weekend after that, on the 13th. And maybe you're doing those in the evening, just in case people can't come till later in the day. And you're going to do that until 6 p.m. So there we go. We got our session set up. Again, adjust your details as you go. You know, where the location, time frame. You can put all those details in the description as you go. I just wanted to show you that quick example so we can get to what it can look like on the website itself. So you have your information here. We're going to remove some of this stuff. We don't need it. We're just going to say put information about booking your preferred mini session in this mini session booking page portal. We'll just say that. See what it pulls. We're going to tell it to generate text. It's going to go ahead and put something together. Exactly. So she said, so taking the time in the beginning to set up these sessions, all including the advanced tabs, ends up being seamless to change dates, and then people simply book. Right. So it's already there. So then you don't have to worry about like feeling like you have to do this all the time. You can set up everything in advance all year long, and then if you want them visible at all times, you can keep them visible, or you can hide them and just make them presentable when you're wanting them to be visible. So it's got a bunch of information here that I want. I just want something here at the top, just something that's about the disclosure of the actual content. We're going to take this, I'm going to move it up to here, and then we'll keep this way, and we'll make sure it's centered. Let's see what we got going on. There we go. Something's looking pretty cool. Maybe we want to bring this book your session down. Go, and then select your, have something like that. We'll make it header 2, and then we'll change it back to header 1. Make sure, because I want to make sure it's nice, has a nice font. We're going to adjust header 1 because it's just a tad bigger than I want for the font, so we'll just take it down a little bit because the big one's already doing its heavy lifting. So there we go, and then we can remove this script. We don't need it now because we're just going to pull this up. Now we can do this part here. So we don't, for our layout, we're just going to keep it however you want to. There's multiple options. Let's see which one I prefer. Let's just do contemporary square, and we're just going to do a row of 3, or we'll keep a row of 1 and 4 options. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just going to go ahead and trigger it. And what's it going to do is, if you already have them set up, they're going to display based on what you want to display. Now you can do display all from a scheduled one, so you can do it from here, appointments or minis. You can do it this way, where it's going to show all of them like this real quick. There they are, and you can see it's pulling in all the data, and then you can modify it however you want to. The colors, all those options, whatever you want to do here relatively, you can here. So I'm just going to make the text darker, background color. I'm going to make it, we're going to keep it that way. Shape, background color. You can then modify it however you want to. Maybe you want it to be, a different tone or anything like that. Shape, text color, border color. We're going to make it that darker tone. However you want it to. There it is. So when we lay it out here, go to our booking page, you can see the options available. Now you can do it where it's full flush like this, or you can again go to your settings and tell it flushing off. It'll make it more narrow, but then you can just change the layout. Like, oh, I don't like it that way, so maybe you wanted to keep it more because let's see what it does, more narrow. Yeah, you'll see it's too much information on those blocks, which is fine, because guess what? You can just change it how it looks. So maybe you want to do 2 by 2, do something like that. It's going to look way more attractive anyway, because there you go. So then you can see the options available. Then they can say, hey, I want to do this session type. Once they go here, it takes them to that private page. They can select the options for it. Then they can go through all the details and picking what they want directly from here as well. So you can set it up that way. Or you could keep it this option, or you could do something that's a little bit more, personalized per session. Like how we created that one mini page. Maybe we want to come to a page like this. What I do is I know this page is the Mother's Day minis, and what you can do is then select a text or list item block. I'm just going to select. Let's do the list item block so you can see what that looks like. You can select it this way as well. We're going to select an image that represents it. We're going to pull from our stock images. I'm going to type in mothers since we've already built that page. Going to select that image to represent it, that session type. Then you can go to your layouts. If you know you're going to have multiple sessions, you can choose this. I love the portrait border. I think this one always looks nice. So I'm just going to select this. I'm going to do that. And we'll do it by 3 columns. How about that? We'll do something like that. That way it's a little bit more narrow, looks good. Then for that one, you can add the session name. You can add details here if you want to. If you want to paste in that information, you can. So maybe you want to pull, the information that we've made for this page. You just pull that here again. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to go over here, paste it in. There we go. Then, if you know where it's linking to, book now, and then select which page you're going to link it to. And we already know that Mother's Day mini, so we're going to select that one. So you can see it's putting the information here. We're going to change the colors up on it a little bit. We want the overlay colors, background colors, things like that. Let's go ahead and modify this. So we're going to make our overlay color, we're going to make it that peachy tone. So it's like that. We have our title color, this one. We're going to change our title font because we, let's keep it in the tradition that we're doing. There we go. We're going to then just make it a tad bit bigger. There we go. Looks really cool. We'll add an animation to that. We'll just do a fill. Let's change our text button color. There we go. So when we do that, let's see what it looks like now. So go back to our hub page, hit refresh. So you can do it where they can just click on it, go straight here, doom, boom, done. Or if you want to keep that personalized page that's for this event here, you can see how it looks. Click on it, then you can go to that personalized page that has more information, then they can book. So it's really up to you how you want to do this presentation. Keeps them locked in. You can then make this page where they can't go back or anything like that. It's really up to you how you want it at the end of the day. But you can see you're personalizing the page, you're making it more romanticized. You create this portal that can live here all year long if you want to. That way they're able to book any type of session that they're going for that year. And you're already listing it out. And you can always point people from your social media. Come to this page, book any session type that I have available right now that's running. Book now while times slots are still open, or you can just keep pushing individual mini sessions one at a time as you go. It's really up to you, and it's really up to how you want to market it at the end of the day. So you can see now we have either a full-fledged page that's dedicated to one event, or you can have it where your booking page can then roll right into different types of sessions that people can book for right then and there. And they can select their times. And look, if it's multiple day, multiple, either that Saturday or that following weekend. Natalie asks, personalized pages, are those separate, like having to click on that page in your menu? So you can keep it in your menu if you want to. Yes, you would build it just like a separate page. So what I would do is I would create a drop down. So just in case you ever want to in the future do this, I would just call these mini session pages. So we'll just keep them hidden. So anything in this drop down, so our Mother's Day, could just live where it's on a hidden area that's not on your main menu. See right here, if I refresh it, it's going to be gone. So you can keep it like that where those pages are hidden but only accessible through the booking page itself. You could do something like that. And then you can turn off the header and things like that to make this page feel more like a newsletter, a landing page style, if you want to do something like that, to keep it curated so they're only focused on that event versus having to go back or clicking around too much. It's really up to you. You can also utilize that for just your marketing. So maybe these pages are only dedicated for your direct marketing. You could do it that way as well. So there's so many options you could do. It really depends on you. Everyone has a different flavor of how they like to personalize their pages on their website, but that is an option that you have. Okay, Natalie had a question, but for Santa, I have a page all on him, and I add the session block. Yes, exactly. So for that Mother's Day event, we added that block specifically here. So I don't know how late you came into the event, but yeah, you would just select which event that you want to highlight. So maybe what if I wanted to copy this page for the other events? I could totally do that. So our summer sessions, there we go. I could then keep it page visibility if I want it or not. Now this is our summer session page. I'm going to replace the images, summer. I'm going to just type that. Going to select that. We'll just do this one. This one looks pretty cool. We'll have that one there. Now we got our summer session event. We're going to change these pictures here, but first let's just change it to our summer mini, and you'll see it populate with that event. So if you're doing Santa, you could put more information about Santa here. If you're doing just for this one, you can have it just for that one, and so forth. And then you can customize the colors to represent that session type. Maybe you want to go, since it's summer, maybe you want to do some cool blues and things like that. Maybe you want to utilize colors like that. You could do that. That way each page feels more personalized to each event. It's really up to you. Depends how much time you have and how much you want to do in that sense. But you see, it's mostly just copy paste once you get going. But yeah, I like being able to personalize it just because it makes every event feel, organic to its own. So you can see how that's looking. And then you just change the text however you want to. Again, rely on the AI system when you're ready. And then look, boom, got your dates. And then you can customize the colors. Right now it's using that peachy tone. We'll go back over here real quick. We'll just modify the colors. Make it go into a darker blue tone. There we go. So now when they book, yeah, there we go. Then they choose out the door. Yeah, so you can really customize it how you want to. What type of event, summer sessions, you name it, Santa, you name it. You can do it that way as well, and then it's accessible through the booking page if you prefer to do it that way. And then if you do it that way, I'm just going to change this to be more of a standard color. I'm going to then do the exact same thing that we did over here. You can see you can add those details. You would put your summer session details here. Go ahead and create a new image. We'll go ahead and we'll say summer again. We'll select that young woman. There we go. and then we'll put summer sessions. And again, this text you would modify it to make sure it says everything you need to proper. Then you would select which page you want it to go to. We're just going to make it go to our summer sessions. There we go. And then I want that button to say book now. So then when we go back to our booking page, you can see now how it's going to relegate. There we go. And then they can go straight to that page. So you can have it so many different ways depending on what you prefer, how customizable you want it, any way that you want it. Sounds like this is great because these sessions are on my website to book, driving them to look at, yeah, exactly. So there's so many different ways you can customize it, however you want to. And again, you can use this in just your links on your social media, in your posts, you know, click here to book, and then boom, they're really on this page. They won't have to click around. They can see all the event details and just book right away. It's really up to you. Or you can send them straight to, you know, that booking page, where you can say, hey, I have lots of events to book for. Select which one that you want. They're booking right now. They won't, you know, only so many time slots are available. So you can set it up that way as well. And then, of course, in your marketing, when you're ready, you can then market these pages directly on your website through the pop-ups. So you can tell people about those events happening. You know, if you want to, you can go through your pop-up builder. You can tell them about coming to that event. You can just set up something visually here. So if you wanted to, you could tell them, you know, whatever you want to. Booking now. You can have something like this, whatever you want the promotion to say, you know, select which session, if you're doing the portal page. So I'm just going to put some simple text here. There we go. And then you could have that button. You could then link it to where you want to. We're going to go to that page. If you have it going to only one event type, you could do it that way. We're just going to send it to the booking page for now. So we have our booking. And then I don't need anything for the second button. There we go. So then they can select here. Then you could publish it when you want it to publish, when you want it to expire. You could have that. You can then edit any of the settings here, if it's going to go on all pages or how often. I'm just going to make it go to 5 seconds. You can also edit how big it is when it appears on the web page. So if you want it to be a small size, medium size, large size, let's go large because we want to get people to know. We're going to put it in the bottom right. So it'll just be a little bit larger in charge. So when we go back to any page on our website, we'll just go to, we'll just refresh our home page. We set it for a few seconds. There it is. So you can see it says a full over, then they click on it, and then boom, it takes them straight into this page. So if they didn't know anything like that, but you can make it last as long as you want to, and however long you want it to trigger. So you can set it up that way as well. With your email campaigns, you can go to a new campaign, create something new, promotion, maybe you want to start there. You can have your event, what it's about. You can modify any of the text here. If you need help writing it, you can again ask PhotoBiz AI. You can click here and ask, remind them of photo mini sessions to book for the year on my booking page portal. You could have them simply look at that. Don't forget your booking. There we go. And then you can have it linked there. You can then just have it linked directly to where you want it to go. And then we'll take that booking page, copy. Then we go back over to our marketing area, paste. Have an image that you prefer to represent directly there. We'll just do that fall. We'll do the mother one. Select this one because it looks like she's telling a secret. That's like we're telling them. Then you can email this out to your clientele. Again, you can select by tag. You know, maybe you only want to send this to people that you've already had fall mini sessions with, or families, anything like that. You can select that here, or you can send it to all contacts, whatever you prefer. And then once you selected them, or you want to exclude maybe a team, like maybe you don't want to send it to seniors, you can exclude them however you want to. There we go. So only 4 people are going to get it instead of 5. Click continue. Who's it from? Jane Doe Studios, who you're going to send it from, and then your subject. Book your mini sessions for the year. View all types now. Boom. And then you can send it out to them, and it's out there in the world. And it'll look really cool and splashy. It'll look like this, you know, and then you can customize the colors how you want to. When they click on it, it'll take them straight to this page, then they can select which option they want, and you've got a very circular path. And that person that booked earlier, as you can see here in our contracts, our Jeremy Doe that signed up, if they signed up anything, they clicked on anything that had a booking option, it will be in there. So that's all you have to worry about. Howie had a question. Not sure how much time you have left, a few minutes, but I have a question about order tracking when you're done with this part. Yes, tell me what your question is, Howie. I'll see if I can answer it. So that was today's focus. While I wait for Howie's question, just want to say if you have any other questions about booking or setting up your mini sessions, always review this video. This video will be able to help you down the line. Natalie, thank you for asking all those wonderful questions. This is how you set up very quickly for mini session types on your web page. Now, if you have any other questions, you can always go to our blog.photobiz.com. You can see all the guides that we have available. We actually have a guide on how to set up everything for mini sessions right here. I'll put it in the comments section so you can take a look at it anytime, whenever you want to. And this will walk you through setting it up again as well. So if you have any other concerns or questions about that, you can take a look at this option here and how you can set it up for yourself. Now, can you talk briefly about the total calendar? Sure, I can talk about that briefly as well. I have a handful of photos I pulled in an order folder from a specific event, but now I can't find which order those photos belong to. I have a handful of photos I pulled into an older event or older folder or order folder from a specific event, but it can, is there a way to search for the file number of an image to track down who the order belongs to? Okay. E-commerce. Let me think about that. I haven't had to talk about e-commerce in a while. So if someone has ordered something and you're trying to figure out which photo they ordered, I believe it's tracked in here per event, but I don't think right now there's a search for individual photos. I could be wrong. Or you can also check in the client gallery in the activity settings. You might be able to select here and see if they purchased anything, and it should track individual image file names there, I believe. Yeah, you'll be able to see like the image of that order there. But I know the event. I'm just trying to avoid going back through each person's order. Howie, if you can email me at jeremyh@photobiz.com, tell me the event, and I don't know the file name, or I don't know the name of the person, but I know the event. I'm just trying to avoid going back through each person's order. If you tell me what file you're looking for, I'll see what I can do to assist you. If not, I can see what our support team can help. It might be something where it's just you should be able to track it this way, but I can take a look and see what's going on. I don't have a lot of the e-commerce stuff set up on my demo account to really mess with, but I do know John and other people know way more about the e-commerce system, so maybe I can steer them to your question if I have comments. But if you can email me, I'll take a look at it, okay? But I think there's a way. I think it's only in the purchase cart area, if I remember correctly. Okay, yeah, so just email me, Howie, okay? I'll see what I can do to assist you over there. Natalie had one question about the full scheduler. So she was like, let's say, can you talk briefly about the total calendar? So when you're setting up the calendar for your entire system, so if anyone books with you, you'll be able to see, whenever that month happens, anything like that this week. You can see the session directly here. So you can see the time that was pulled and everything like that. You can also cancel it or rescind or reschedule if you need to. Now, if you reschedule, let them know that they'll need to update that in their own personal calendar. Everything is on your side, so you're just seeing it digitally from here. But you can make a calendar feed directly to your own current calendar, but if they cancel, it doesn't update on Google or whoever your preferred calendar is. Just be known of that. But you can click on the calendar feed, copy this, and then click here and choose which type of calendar you want this to paste into. And then anytime someone books, it'll go to your personalized calendar. Just know that if you make any updates to the actual event, do it through PhotoBiz versus the personal calendar, because that won't matter. But here you'll be able to see all those directly, who's booked, when, where, and why, and how, and all that stuff. For services, when you want to create a new one, if you're going to have like a full-time calendar throughout the rest of the year, that's just for like any type of sessions or consultations, anything like that, you want to click reoccurring. And then you'll just put like, whatever, in studio session. We'll just say that. Then your details here, how long that service is, maybe a 60-minute session, and maybe it's a $300, fee, and then you can choose if you're taking payment right away or booking only. And then again, it's just like setting up the other one. Just select an image that you want to represent that event, and then if you can see our in-studio session. If you know availability, you can go ahead and modify this. If you only want to do this session type during specific days of the week, you can do that. You can override your own availability here, because you can set this up through your Sunday through Saturday, how often you work. You can set it here, but if you don't know and you want to be flexible, you can just keep this as is. But if you want to do it per event type, you can go directly to that service that you want to customize for, and then click availability. So maybe you only want to do this. See, this will be your hours of operations that you set up here, or maybe you only want to do in-studio sessions only on Fridays. You can select it that way as well. So you could tell this, no, I'm not going to book anything for Sundays. So you can block out the times that you don't want to do a preferred service, such as consultations. Maybe you only want to do those on Monday. And you can do this. I always tell people click in. That way it gets straight to the thing at the bottom real quick. There you go. And we got Wednesday. Okay, and then Thursday. We'll just leave it. We only do it on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Friday. And then you can choose hours for those times. Click Save Changes. So now, if you had this live on a page for booking, you could have your minis on here, or you could have a section above it that's for any type of booking, or just consultation, anything like that. You can create a page just dedicated for those types of events, in studio. We'll have our scheduler come out right there. Select which one you want available. I'm just going to click one real quick, add our schedule service appointment. We're going to select our in studio session, and it'll display here like that if you want to. Again, customize it however you want to, title, color, things like that. And then you can build out that page with more information. If you want to have free consultation there too, that's easy enough. We'll do that as well. We'll go back over. We'll go to our scheduler. We'll create one for consultations, like that reoccurring as well. We'll make them 60 minutes as well, and they're $0. There we go. Image to represent that. we go. We got one. And then availability. Again, you can have this any day of the week, or maybe you only do phone consultations on Monday. You can set it up however you want to. I'm going to keep it as is for now so people can book anytime they want to. That way that's available. And then go back to your website, and then you can then modify this. I'm going to change this to free consultation. Then I'm going to change this one to appointments in studio sessions. There we go. So now it showcases like this. I'm going to just make it not flush anymore. Go to our styling, click off. So now it's a little, whoop, there we go, right here. And then they can book their time they want for that any day of the week. Guessing we can add forms for clients to acknowledge as they are booking. Yes, so something you could do is after someone's booked, you can add through your marketing, right? So I'm just going to add like whatever type of form you want, like maybe it's a contract or something, right? If you're doing like a release, anything like that, you can add that here. We'll just say event contract. We'll just keep it easy for that now. If you're taking a payment after they've booked, you can set that up here, or it's just a contract. You can take a digital signature. I'm just going to keep this one really broad, but this is where you put all that, whatever's going to happen during the event. You could do that there after they fill out one. So for maybe like say the scheduled event, maybe we've already done a consultation, that's fine, but we want them for the in-studio session. After they booked for this, we'll make it where they pay after the session, so booking only, but the payment will be later. You can set it up that way. Then in the email automations, you can create or edit a series that already exists. So like say the email appointment reminder, you could edit that series. You can then add a new email series type in there. So I like to call it a general message. Before the appointment, you trigger one day after they've booked. Then you can customize it with some general context, like please before the event fill out our contract and make a payment, something like that, right? Fill out form, and then a link directly to that event you would select, right? Whoop. Hit the wrong button, sorry about that. We'll do it again. So I'll just copy this event form link. We'll go back to our scheduler. We'll go back to edit our series. General message, we'll pull this up to the top because this is going to go out first anyway. I'm going to edit this, edit context. Please fill out our release and make a payment before our session. So you could have that, change the subject, please make your session payment here. Then you can have it, sign, then link to the button, paste, and done. So they'll get this email automated to them after they've booked that session. So if you're just taking the payment and you have that turned on in here, this session type, yes, activate all emails in that series. So when they do that, it will then trigger all these emails in this session type. So you can see they'll get this one the next day, they'll make that payment, and then they'll be done. And then if they haven't made that payment yet, or if you need to do it offline, you can do that offline as well. You can set up a quote and invoice directly from here as well. So there's so many options you can get paid. So whatever your preferred method on that side is. But that's one easy way to do that. So once they make that in-studio session booked, that'll trigger out to them. They'll then sign in the form and contracts. You can then also, on that form, add a tag here. So you can say in-studio. So this person will be an in-studio form. Or we'll just say in-studio release. So if they fill that out, then you have the option for payment here, whatever your payment's going to be here. Maybe, again, in-studio is going to be $300. Once it's paid, you'll get that payment. It'll be tracked in the back of your e-commerce directly here. You'll see the dashboard when that payment's made. You'll also be able to track it in the reports and orders as well. But once that's set, you'll have it, and then you guys go and figure out everything from there. They selected their dates and stuff. So yeah, that's one way to do it, Natalie. There's so many different ways to do it. Everyone has very different ways of doing their styles. Some people like to take the contracts afterwards, before, you name it. It's all up to you. So you have so many different ways to actually curate your business, and PhotoBiz gives you that opportunity that way. Thank you so much for asking those questions. All right, so my time is pretty much up for today. Again, if you have any questions or comments, check out our blog.photobiz.com. You can also reach out to our team. You'll see down here in the corner this little icon. This directly connects to our support team. So if you have any questions about that, you can have them look at your questions as well. Also, if you have any needs hands-on help, click on our education tab or go to education.photobiz.com. You can see if you need anyone to help you set up any of this stuff. We have coaching services available, anything from one-on-one sessions. So, design services for 1 hour, 150 bucks. You can get a lot done in that, but you can also choose e-commerce, client galleries, marketing, forms and contracts, SEO, you name it. All that can be done within 1 hour. So whatever your main focus is on, maybe you're like, hey, I need to set up some mini sessions with contracts and all that. Maybe you don't want to do that, what we did today. Well, 1 hour, guess what? We did all that already in 1 hour today, guys. So we can get this all set up for you, so you don't have to worry about it if you want our team to do that for you. Check out that. Click on the coaching tab there. If you want to see our upcoming events, you can check on upcoming events in the top half menu. You'll see we focused on mini sessions today. Next week, we will be looking at website reviews. So if you want us to take a look at your website, then we will. Ask Me Anything About PhotoBiz AI is on May 2nd. Website reviews again, and then we'll be talking about how animations can increase sales. Website reviews one more time, and then one of my favorite new features coming, pre-designed blocks. It's going to expedite everything that we did today in a much more timely and fast manner. So you definitely want to join us for that and how you can utilize it for your own business. Next, if you need any help after hours, we have our on-demand videos you can look at anytime. They're walkthrough demos of everything for the platform. So if you need help setting up anything, all those are available in the on-demand video section. All right, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Thank you so much, Natalie, Howie, everyone else that's watching. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to our team. Our team will assist you. Howie, I'll take a look at your question. I'll take a look, and if I can help you, I will. If not, I'll send it to my support team, and they should be able to assist you there. Just let me know the details then. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful